Hello everybody, it is I, Ash, from WhatCulture Gaming, and I'm here today with a lovely breakdown of the PS5 reveal that we had last night, dubbed The Future of Gaming. And oh boy, does the future look bright. We are in for one hell of a gamey treat when that thing launches later this year, due to all of the very exciting announcements and games-based goodness that we got from that big live stream. I, for one, am particularly excited, so please forgive me if I get a bit erratic throughout this video. It is likely to happen. Now, of course, the PlayStation team were kind of limited with what they could do due to the ongoing world situation, but they still knocked out a really great show, and it had plenty and heaps upon heaps and loads of extremely good points to go through, but it wouldn't be ups and downs if there weren't some moments that didn't quite hit the mark, so we've got a mixed bag here for you. We're going to go through everything. We're going to look at the good and the bad and the Bugsnax of what happened with this show, and yeah, I'm here to go through it all with you. So I hope you're very excited. I hope you're locked in and ready for this PS5 talk, as I am the mascot Ash from WhatCulture Gaming, and this is the PS5 reveal ups and downs. Right, now, not to start on a bum note, but the whole GTA announcement at the beginning of the show was a bit tricksy and cruel, I think, personally. It was just an announcement for an enhanced edition of GTA 5, which probably everyone has a copy of by now. I think it has been around long enough and is one of the most best-selling, biggest-selling games out there that many people have played GTA 5, so to have it again is... it's good. It's exciting that more people can have it on a new console, but also... do we need this again? And that it was also on PS4, had a little PS4 logo in the corner to open it up on kind of a past thing that they're then bringing to the new console. It's not backwards compatible, it is simply just a new version that you can get again. I don't know. It wasn't a good, strong opening for me, but I am very thankful that they kind of just got it out of the way. They were like, hey, we've got this to say, here it is. Let's get it out of the way, let's get it out there so you don't get really excited about thinking, oh, GTA 6 is in here somewhere, and then learn, oh, it is enhanced edition of GTA 5. Again, since it started on the PS3 and now we're 2 generations later and it's still kicking around. Just make a new game, Go on, Rockstar. That's my input there, please. Go on. Anyway, it gets it down because it doesn't quite spark joy, does it, this being the opening? And I'm really sad that we're opening on a down, so I'm going to move on quickly to all of the good stuff that happened with plenty of other games. So, it was fine. GTA 5 Enhanced Edition, great. I'm excited for all the people that are going to play that and be introduced to it and go, hey, GTA 5, this is the game for me. I love the enhanced touches. But we're here for new, and we're here for new and happening, and just new. I'm going to say new 3 times in different ways. New, spelt differently. So, let's get into the new. So we had that moment, and then we were introduced to the actual PS5 moment, where we had, everything you're going to see from this point onwards is in the PS5. And the very first game that delivered was Spider-Man Miles Morales. Could they have gotten a bigger pop? I don't know. I don't really know. I think that is the biggest pop I have popped out watching an announcement, because what a start. What a choice for a start. Loads of people love the PS4 Spider-Man. Loads of people had a great time with it. It's an incredibly well put together game. And Miles Morales as the lead on this one is something lots of people want to see, especially with Into the Spider-Verse coming out, all that sort of thing. There's a whole heap of fun to be had with this game. And just looking at it, it is beautiful, it is exciting. I'm very here for this game. While it isn't entirely clear if the game is a smaller scale spin-off or an actual legit sequel to the 2018 Spider-Man game, it is simply great to see Miles getting his own AAA Spider-Man title, and one that looks so utterly gorgeous and thrilling, no less. The biggest surprise, however, is that it is actually launching in the holiday period, so could be a launch title. Now, what more do you want? I think they could have ended it here. I'm glad they didn't end it here because there was a lot of other good stuff, but they could have, and I don't think anybody would have been annoyed. That this was the for real opener definitely washes away the sins of the GTA trap. So up, big fat up. It counts as one up, but I've said it a lot of times, so it's an enthusiastic up. Up. And not content to deliver just one game, as they are inherently massive show-offs, and I am absolutely here for it, Insomniac announced that they are delivering a sequel to 2016 Ratchet & Clank titled Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which just looks incredible. It is so well put together and a great example of what the PS5 can do. You really get a feel of how kind of fluid and smooth this is going to be with Ratchet & Clank, and it's great to have them as kind of mascots floating around, doing their thing and just being old Ratchet and Clank together. I thought it was great. I was very happy to see them. More than any other game shown during the event, Ratchet & Clank announced itself as a remarkable demonstration of the PS5's capabilities. For starters, the graphics look absolutely gorgeous, especially if you give the 4K trailer a whirl. And the game will also take advantage of the console's nifty tech to allow Ratchet to instantly dimension hop, seemingly at the press of a button. It's safe to assume this kind of game design wouldn't really be possible without the PS5's beefy architecture and the whole SSD deal, so you know what, this is a great example of what the next gen is going to be and what we should be looking forward to and how things could be in the future, which is just lovely and exciting and incredible. I've said exciting 5 million times. I'm excited. This is exciting. Up. It gets an up. And from Ratchet & Clank onwards, I'm going to have to give a more general up, as the whole show was just games, 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 and not one of them disappointed. They really doubled down on the whole letting the game speak for us mantra that they had at the start of the show, and just absolutely delivered on it. They did a great job at showing all of these titles, all over 25 of them, that just look beautiful, they look stunning, they look, I just want to dive into each of them. Personal highlights for me were Returnal, Little Devil Inside, and of course Stray, because you play as a cat and you can do a meow. It looks like Love, Death and Robots brought to the gaming world, which I don't think anyone could support more. And of course, need to shout out Ghostwire and Hitman, because they absolutely stood head and shoulders above the rest and looked incredibly exciting. Exciting again. Yes, there's lots of good games here. There's lots of good games, and I would just give them all an up, really. They can just have one big shiny up to go between them to share around, so there you go. Now, there was a whole section here which I was going to talk on, but I've just looked at my notes and all I've written is Bugsnax. Then it doesn't have an up or a down next to it, and I don't know what to say about Bugsnax, but it really stuck with me, and it stuck with a lot of people. Bugsnax. And then, after that weird fever dream of a game, Bugsnax, which I'm going to mutter to myself in my sleep, I think, because it haunts me, but after that, Bluepoint revealed their big remake project, which is ambitious and glorious and has come out incredibly well and got a massive, massive shout out from lots of people online because they're very excited to see this cult franchise brought back to the fore for a new generation of gamers once again, and that is the Demon's Souls remaster. Oh, people are excited, aren't they? Lovely. Lovely to see. You love to see it. Given that Bluepoint's last remake was Shadow of the Colossus, they had a lot to live up to, but they did firmly back it up by confirming the long-standing rumours that they're developing a next-gen remake of From Software's 2009 cult classic, Demon's Souls. Sony confirmed that Bluepoint have built this game from the ground up, and I have a quote for you, which is that players can choose between 2 graphics modes whilst playing, one focused on fidelity and one focused on frame rate, which is interesting really, isn't it? That you can pick the way you want to play your game and how you want it to look. Just the whole area of this, everything around it and itself, that Demon's Souls is coming back again. I know loads of people are very, very excited for that. Hell, I might even be excited for a Souls game for once. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go because this trailer sold me on it. So up. It gets an up. Next up, we have Deathloop from Arcane Studios, who have given us Dishonored before and have previously shown us a teaser for this, but this is the first full-length, deep dive, cinematic, movie-dwelling trailer that we've had, and oh boy, it almost stole the show really, didn't it? It was particularly engaging. Though the trailer wasn't high on specifics, it showed a protagonist locked in a time loop as they battled an assassin seemingly fated to kill them, with death causing the scenario to start all over again. The visuals look terrific and the combat looks stylishly brutal. It is a whole package of fun and could be one of the first titles that we get. I think its launch window is kind of for the early PS5 stuff, so you know what, it's one of the first games we're going to get to have a little go at, and I for one am not sorry about that because it looks very good, and it gets another up, and every game is getting an up because I'm just overwhelmed by the good games that we have gotten from this whole event. I think that the downs more from this event are kind of related to outside forces than the games, because the games, I don't think you can lose with any of these games. They're all incredible, and I'm going to carry on talking about the games, but we kind of have to move into a down from the outside perspective that I spoke about, which is that whilst Deathloop can get away with not having specifics in its trailer because it gives us lots to get excited about with its cinematic visuals, the PS5 itself didn't actually give us that much concrete information which fans were hoping for. So let's get into that a little bit. The reveal itself was frustratingly low on deep dive information about what players can expect on launch. It didn't seem unreasonable to expect some basic pricing information for the console's two models, the regular and discless digital version, yet the reveal event gave nothing away in this regard. Elsewhere, Sony have not really said anything about backwards compatibility, and despite VR being one of the big points of consoles previously, it was not really mentioned at all during this whole show. And even though some of them might be VR compatible, it just wasn't brought up, which I think is a bit of a hole in the whole thing. So I'm gonna have to sadly give this one a down. I would really like a date for the actual launch of the console, and that also plays into it. But yeah, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that we actually would really like to know around the console itself that didn't get delivered, that is gonna have to suffer from the horrendous down. But then we're coming straight back with an up because I want to talk about Resident Evil 8, which is, it looks so good. The whole time it was playing out, I was going, wow, I like the look of this. This looks like my kind of game. Ooh, what's this? This looks interesting. And then you get Village at the end. Take me to the village. I want to see what's in the village. I'm going to be scared of the village. Resident Evil 8 looks so good. It looks so good. Ethan is back. Ethan is around. Ethan is doing all sorts of scary things again. Just stay away, Ethan, is probably the best advice I can give him. But Village, Resident Evil 8, it is a great concept. It had some beautiful, beautiful visuals, like beautiful in a horrendous, horrifying, nasty way. And it also had werewolves, and I don't really know what else you could want from a game than big, bad werewolves in a tiny, creepy, spooky village. So big up. Oh, yeah, big up. So what we know is it's set in a village and there's kind of a castle and a forest, and that it is going to be first person again. So hopefully, I know we don't have like an actual confirmation on the VR side of it, but hopefully we're going to get VR with this again, because the Resident Evil 7 VR version, I think that broke many people's minds from how terrified they got. So to have this again in this setting with all of these new kind of, it's another departure for Resident Evil to go into something different, and that doesn't quite match up to what their series has been about. This is a very new angle for them, and I think it will work incredibly well. The whole creepy house and like boat stuff of Resident Evil 7, it shows that they can do deviations incredibly well. They know what they're doing. They've got their series back on track from, I know, like stuff that people maybe didn't agree on or enjoy as much with previous numbered titles. 8. And last on the games front, but absolutely not the least, is we're getting a sequel to 2016's Horizon Zero Dawn in the form of Horizon Forbidden West. Do I need to say any more? Do I need to say any more than that? That this is the peak and pinnacle of PlayStation gaming. To have this as their exclusive and then put their sequel as their last one more thing reveal that kind of caps out the whole show and gives a whole vibe as to what we've been watching, which is, I lose all my words because this is the most exciting thing they could have revealed, bar God of War 2. But Horizon Zero Dawn 2, absolutely peak. The peak. I'm so glad they saved this to last, because I was like, on the sofa watching it. It's just, it's a joy. They even had Aloy fighting a bionic Oliphant from Lord of the Rings. You know, Legolas doing that bit where he's shooting the Oliphants? They've homaged it in the trailer. They know what they're doing. They have all my money. They have all of it. I've paid it mentally. It is there. It is put aside for this, because Horizon Forbidden West looks incredible. It looks incredible. And just to put some proper words to it, the beautiful trailer showed off not only a returning Aloy, but some of the game's lush new environments, which will see her travelling west to a far future America. Though the trailer doesn't always mark a clear distinction between cinematics, cutscenes, and actual gameplay, it is clear the game's set to be an early visual marvel for the PS5. Sadly, there's no word on a release date, but since it apparently has been in the works for the past 3 years, then a 2021 date isn't unreasonable, maybe? I hope. This gets the biggest golden up of them all. Maybe it's worth 3 ups, maybe it is worth 1, but it gets an up. Either way, it gets 1 up, but it's worth 3 to me, so 1 up. That's a very big up. It's the final up, because I have one more thing to talk about. Now that all the fun stuff is out of the way and you've seen me lose my nut at the very exciting games we have in store, we're going to actually have to talk about the PS5 itself, which was the whole point of this show. And yeah, it was a very interesting design choice that they've made, and one that I can't say I like at all. Ori posted a great picture of it, and it looks exactly like an internet router, like a modem. It doesn't look like a PlayStation at all. Like, they could have very easily gone for a big cuboid box that isn't going to mock you with all its curvaceous layers and stuff and just sit there and do its job. But no, they've gone for something really wild and out there, and they've put it in a white casing, which is just going to get mucky. We all, you know, the whole stereotype of gamers when you're having a Cheeto and you got Cheeto dust on your hands. I think of how orange and mucky your whole PlayStation 5 is going to look after you've been eating and rubbing all your horrible fingers on it. And when you had a big gaming session and the place is a tip, look, it happens to the best of us. You don't want that thing sitting there with all of its flowing edges and curves and stuff, looking like a lily or an orchid, or inspired by nature, looking there like this futuristic piece of tech that is mocking you for your pit and your den of iniquity. So I feel like this console looks like it's mocking me, and I don't like it. And I just don't enjoy it. I want an all black one if I am gonna, have a say in this, which I don't, because it's just me commenting on the internet saying, oh, they should make a black one. But I think a black one would kind of solve a lot of their problems of it looking a bit strange. Lots of people disagree. Lots of people think it looks great or interesting, or is like a stylish new way for it to go. And that's fine. But because everyone is so divided on this, I'm going to give it a down. Not just on my opinion, but because there is two diverging schools of thought on this, and it deserves a down for not having a unanimous. This is a good looking console thing because it had one job. It had one job, to play games on it. And the game's the most important part. Again, the game's the most important part. The games are what are going to sell the console. The games are what we care about, but do we need it to look like this? No. No, a box would have been fine. Xbox has them sold on looks. But the games of PlayStation 5, very good. Very good. So this is a down, and I'm going to end this video of me rambling. So yes, that has been our breakdown of the PS5 reveal in the ups and downs format, and it finalises on a score of 7 ups and 3 downs, which is not bad going, if I do say so myself. It's still a majority up score and has done incredibly well, and all of the games look so amazing. I don't think they've missed at all with the games. They've done so well. It is just kind of more of the things surrounding the console itself, and kind of information that we would have wanted that would tie into more ups, because we do need to know a little bit more about it. We do need to know a bit more about it. But as a whole, like, hey, here is the PS5, here is what we're going to be about, here is what you can look forward to. Incredible. I had such a great time watching it. It was the right length. It was the right length, wasn't it? Just over an hour. Great time. Great games. I hope you've enjoyed this ups and downs, a horrible spout of information and just emotions about this whole thing, because it is emotional. It's the next generation of gaming. Just let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and come back to WhatCulture Gaming soon for some more next-gen content, as we have loads and loads of stuff about both the PS5 reveal and everything else in the gaming world as well. So please come back. I haven't scared you away forever. There's more ups and downs stuff that will come as more things are revealed. And yes, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, because I'm excited to hear what everyone else thinks about this PS5 extravaganza. For now, though, goodbye.